In this content feed, we're going to talk about whether or not you should consider getting a subscription as a DCC brand or an e-commerce brand. And if you are, how you can set it up for success. Subscriptions are incredible. They're an absolute goldmine when it comes to D2C brands. They bring in good quality customers with a higher lifetime value. But the truth is they don't work for all brands. They aren't suitable for every single brand. And so you need to consider whether or not you've got the right type of product to be able to offer subscription. There's 3 key factors that I always look for to see, hey, is this a brand that's suitable for subscription? And beyond those factors, you need to make sure you have good retention to start with, that your product is one that's getting positive feedback, because otherwise it becomes a bit of a plaster. And we'll talk a bit more about that in a sec. But first, the 3 factors. I'm going to use one example for this, but we'll also look at a few more examples afterwards of what kind of brands really suit subscription and what type of products are good for that. So the first thing is that it's used frequently. If someone isn't using your product frequently, then they aren't going to miss it if they don't have it, because they have loads of time to reorder it. So you really want them to be in a habit loop of needing your product on a regular basis. And the example is contact lenses. I wear contact lenses every single day. I have glasses. I don't tend to wear them because when it comes to sports, I just find them a huge hassle. So I'm wearing them every single day. So for contact lenses, tick to the first one. You use it more than a few times a week. The second one is long-term usage. It's not something that you just need one-off for a certain problem or pain point. It's something that you're going to keep using on an ongoing basis and not need to stop using after a few weeks. Again, contact lenses, my eyesight, unless I get laser eye surgery, not suddenly going to be fixed. I'm going to need contact lenses for the coming years. I might need to change my strength over time, but I'll still need contact lenses in a few years. And then the final thing is it's a hassle if it runs out and having to reorder. I have a really specific strength when it comes to contacts because I have really bad eyesight, but if that runs out, that means I've got a big problem because I can't just get it randomly the same day. It takes a few days and often a week or 2 before I can get my specific strength. So it's a hassle if it runs out. So for me, having a contact lens subscription is a no-brainer. So when you're looking at your own brand, think about these 3 factors. Does it match these 3 factors? If so, then you might have a product that's suitable for subscription, and it could be worth testing that and setting that up. So let's go through some more different examples of types of products that are really suited for subscription. Laundry detergents or other household products, again, you use it frequently, you don't want it to run out. If you get specific about it, it becomes a hassle. I think that's also why I say you need a product market fit first, because you'll see with a lot of these examples, it's a lot about personal taste. If you don't care about which laundry detergent or which shampoo and conditioner you use, then yes, you cannot offer subscription to those kind of customers, but they aren't going to care. They don't mind switching it because they can get a different one. That hassle is relative about how specific your customers are. Do you offer something unique enough that they would really be disappointed if they had to use something else? Meal kits are a really common one because, again, it's a very frequent use. We've seen hugely successful businesses that build subscription around this, like HelloFresh. Supplements and other health products, again, frequency is very high, the need is high, it's a hassle if it runs out. So those are another great one to consider subscription for. Coffee, whether it's beans, pods, if you run out of coffee, I would say it's about the same level of annoyance for me as lenses, though I can get coffee a bit quicker. Again, if they have specific desires about the type of coffee, if they like a certain roast, if they like their coffee sustainable, they're more likely to subscribe. So again, it's not a blanket to all products, but really thinking about why would they subscribe then, even if it's a subscribable product. And things like pet food, so dog food or cat food, again, it's a real hassle to switch over. Dogs, for example, are quite sensitive. So if you switch over their food, they can get sick. So you don't want to run out. So you might be more likely to subscribe in a case like that. So you can see it's a huge range of types of products. And that's why I challenge you to think, could it actually be a subscription? I think the weirdest subscription I've ever seen was for a brand that offered vegan chicken nuggets. You could subscribe to get vegan chicken nuggets. I hadn't expected that. I'm not sure if it is 100% a use case. I don't know how often people are having vegan chicken nuggets, but just to show you how many brands can offer subscriptions these days. And one final example is health drinks. Again, a growing category and something where if you can't get it in your supermarket, I think that's another key one. If you can't easily get the one that you like at where you usually shop, it's again an extra driver to subscribe. But a warning, don't see it as a quick fix. Don't see it as a solution for your cost of acquisition going up or having poor retention. It's not going to solve that. You still need to convince them of value, and you still need to get that set up right. It costs a lot of effort and time to set up subscription properly. So don't just see it as a quick fix for that, but rather support it in building out that retention and lifetime value once you have a good product and a good connection with your market in place. And that requires a good program. And my first tip is with your program, really think about the right discount. So too low, like 5 to 10%, you might have some uptake, but it might not be enough to really justify all the efforts of the subscription program and managing that. You want to make it really attractive for people to subscribe. And discount is only one side of it, but it is a key part of it. And if you feel like, hey, we can't offer more than 5 to 10%, you can also consider increasing your one-off purchase price so that you can offer a better subscription rate. I usually aim for between 15 and 25%. Any higher, I tend to see churn increase quite a bit, and also decrease a bit the trust in your brand because people have the perception that you're overcharging for the one-off purchase and you're pushing them into subscription, rather than gently nudging them towards subscription. The next one is investing in a strong setup. So, like I said, you can't just set it up and forget it. You really need to get the setup in place. Clearly, you need to give your customers high flexibility, really make sure they know how to manage their subscription, build in those email flows, clear FAQs, and guidance on how to manage their product via subscription. You want to make sure that your subscription portal, where they're managing their subscription, is really clear and easy to use. I also advise having a specific subscription page on your website. This is an example from Wholesale, a brand I work with. They offer high protein milkshakes and they use this subscription portal from Skier. And you can see here really clearly that they can click very easy in one step to skip, adjust their order date, edit their frequency, apply a discount, whatever they need to make sure that they can adjust their subscription. In this setup, we even have a passwordless login to make it extra easy so that people don't have to worry about setting up their account and managing that account. The other thing is to make sure you're not just offering a discount. So I feel like the kind of like subscribe and save is a bit basic and not enough these days. Like I said, more and more subscriptions are popping up. It's more and more overwhelming for people to manage it. You need to offer them more than that. So that could be a welcome gift when they subscribe. It could be free shipping when you usually don't offer it. It could be early access to sales that you have on. Or it could be, for example, early access to product launches. There's always these different things you can do. One of my favorites is also surprise and delight. Give them random little gifts along the way. Let them know, hey, with your next order, we'll be sending you a little surprise. Then they're less likely to cancel between those orders because they're like, oh, I'm curious. What am I going to get? Here's an example of Claris CBD, another client of mine who does CBD science-backed products. They have really clearly on their website, when you subscribe, you're not only safe, but you get free delivery, you get exclusive gifts, you get always reminded clearly up front, and you can pause, skip, and cancel at any time. And that flexibility is really, really key too in what you're offering, that they don't feel locked in. I once had a subscription brand where I had to call them up to basically cancel my subscription. And when I called them, it was like, all the phone lines are busy, call back later. And then I had to call again and again. And originally, I wasn't actually even calling to cancel it. I wanted to just call them to adjust the delivery date because of the fact that I was on holiday. But by the point I'd called 2 or 3 times, I was like, I'm done, I'm canceling. Because if this is how hard it is to adjust it every time, it's not worth it. So the key takeaway for you today to start actioning on this is think about whether your product really suits subscription before jumping on it. And if you're going to go and do subscription as an e-commerce, as a D2C brand, make sure you get everything in place to really set it up for success. It can have such a big impact. I've seen it recently for a brand where we've grown the percentage of subscribers from 5 to 10% of monthly revenue to 25 to 30% each month. And it's really helped retention and the profitability side of those customers. but it wasn't a 1 or 2 hour job. We really worked on those emails, on the portal setup, and all of that in place to really ensure that it was set up for success.